Welcome back to Speed Sport from Knoxville, the AMA Grand National Flat Track Championship in action. And this has been the guy all day here, Kenny Coolbeth Jr., putting on a show at the front of this 25-lap main event.
Boy, Slamming Sammy's trying to get something going, running in second right now. There's Jake Johnson all over his rear wheel on that 5.
And I got to tell you, Scott, the way Jake Johnson on that 5, who's in third right now, ran his heat, I thought he'd be stronger here in the main.
I think we've yet to see the best of him right now. He made a little bit of a mistake a couple laps ago, so he's had to fight his way back up to the rear wheel of Halbert, and now he's all over him. It looks like he's going to make the move on this lap.
Banker struggling through 1 and 2 again, got a little too wide, cost him a little more time.
The rest of the field kind of spread out. You see the 1 right there, Brad Baker, Stevie Bonzi, who got the whole shot, but is faded.
That steel shoe planted firmly on that black dirt. Coolbeth down the back stretch again. Halbert hanging on to second.
Coolbeth's done a great job all day long of getting that Harley in there, getting it turned, and getting the power to the ground, as you heard him talk about. That's such a big deal on a super slick racetrack like we're dealing with here today.
The Zanotti Racing entry. The Maroney's Harley Davidson of Kenny Coolbeth Jr. out front, the points leader, leading here in Knoxville.
Boy, Johnson's really trying everything he can do to get around Halbert, but Halbert's making that Harley Davidson so wide right now. He's making it hard for the 5, but he's just knocking on the back door.
Well, look how smooth the entry is for Coolbeth all the way through them. Oh, here comes Johnson. This time, he forces the issue in the middle of the corner, and Jake is through and into second place on the Ramspur Winery entry.
Well, he had to force his way back because Sammy was not giving up the spot. And now let's see if Sammy's got anything for the 5. Maybe he can fight back. Coolbeth just looks like he's hitting that mark every time, Ralph, as he goes off in there. You can see him under the hash marks, let the bike drift out a little bit wide mid-corner, gets the thing turned nicely, and he's just, so far, no mistakes from the 2.
That's Mees running in fourth place back behind him. Jared, who ran well in his heat race, maybe going to close in here, make it a 3-rider battle for second.
Well, him and Jake Johnson earlier in the race had some issues, and they were running up high, making mistakes, and that allowed Coolbeth and Halbert to get away, but they've reeled in Halbert. Coolbeth's a whole nother story, though.
See that arcing line he takes down into turn 1.
When you get out front like this, you got no pressure from behind. It makes it easy to really work on being smooth and just putting the bike right where you want it, going into the corner, and then, you know, making 2 corners out of 1, entry and exit on these big long half-mile corners. So important to get the bike turned and up on the bigger part of the tire, and he's doing a great job today of that.
Halfway through this 25-lap main event here at Knoxville Raceway. And Scott, you know, tip of the cap, too, to the Knoxville Raceway track crew. On a day race after a big sprint car race the night before, they've produced a well-turned-out dirt track for these guys today.
This dark black dirt up here is really going well. I hadn't seen a trace of dust so far in this race, and like you said, the track is in primo condition. The groove is what it is. Most riders are vying for that same spot at a racetrack, but it's allowed for some riders to force their way through and run a little bit higher line, but for the most part, that low line near that hash mark's really paid off all day.
Coolbeth working his way through some traffic. Boy, look at that thing bucking around now underneath him.
Yeah, that big Harley Davidson really working well for him right here, and you know, just he's got his body up high, keeping his weight up high, just pushing the bike down in the corners, and just trying to keep it together, and now he's got some lap traffic coming his way.
And you can see him aggressively shut the throttle off as he goes into the corner, and then you got to start feeding it back in.
Yeah, that's what's helping slow the thing down. He's scrubbing a bit of the speed off, using that engine braking, and then just powering out of this corner.
Mees closing in on Halbert in a hurry. Sammy's got his hands full.
I thought Jared Mees might have something for those 2, but it looks like he's kind of falling off the back. Well, no, Mees is actually caught up to Halbert, and it's the 5 of Jake Johnson who's gotten away.
Here they come again off the 4. That slower rider to the outside, the 73 of Lawrence. They get past him. There goes Coolbeth again. The pressure continues as they come off the 4. It doesn't seem like there's really going to be a better line at 1 or 2 or 3 and 4 for Jared Mees to get around Sammy. Sammy's pretty solid at both ends of the racetrack.
He's been solid, and the 2 riders that are in front of him, Coolbeth and Johnson, had to work on him for a minute to get by him. So if he makes a little bit of mistake, that's going to open the door for Mees, and that's kind of what he's hoping for right now.
Boy, Coolbeth is not opening the door up for anybody, is he? He is just solid.
Boy, Mees is just crawling all over Sammy, but Sammy, again, he gets it into the corner nicely and just holding his own right now.
Even the slower traffic in front of him haven't been an issue for Kenny Coolbeth. Here's the gap back to second place, Johnson. And then there's that fight for third.
A couple of Harley Davidsons right here, so they're running pretty much the same package, so neither one of them seem to have an advantage in speed. And both riders are getting through the corners about the same. I think he's holding Mees up just a little bit, though, Ralph, I got to believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's just that the line he's running doesn't allow Jared enough room to make anything happen.
So he's going to keep trying to pile on the pressure, sticking a wheel on the inside, letting Sammy see that he's right there, and anytime he makes a mistake, it's going to pounce on him.
Getting around Jeremy Higgins now and some other riders is Coolbeth as he works through traffic down on the bottom. Now he's going to go after the 16 here. That's going to be Wyatt McGuire. And again, Halbert holding off Mees.
You got to believe it's just a matter of time before the 9's able to make that move on the 7, but I don't know. He's not making that mistake right now. A little bit of a bobble right there.
You're going to have to keep the bike more planted than that, like this one.
Oh, this one's planted. I'll tell you, it's firm and solid. The number 2 has been all day long.
Oh, here he goes, looking at the outside. Oh, right by one of the slower riders. Mees trying the outside of Halbert, and it just pushes wide. Oh, he had a great line, and it cost him. Checkered flag, and Kenny Coolbeth will win here at the Knoxville Raceway.
Well, that was a big effort right there on the outside, but the long way around makes it tough.
Well, he went for it, and it just didn't work for Mees, but Kenny Coolbeth will win in Knoxville. We'll come back to hear from the winner when Speed Sport returns. Since 1934, National Speed Sport News has been America's motorsports authority. Every month, Speed Sport Magazine comes alive with stunning photography, insightful commentary, and in-depth features. You will get the full story with Speed Sport Magazine. To start your home delivery of America's motorsports authority, log on to nationalspeedsportnews.com and hit the big yellow subscribe button. Be the fan in the know. Just go to nationalspeedsportnews.com and click subscribe.